Hi. Am I still audible?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So I think I would like to thank every one of us for being here today. Before we start, I think it would be good for someone to start the meeting or the session with a word of prayer. So a volunteer, please, from the participants. Anyone want to start us off with a word of prayer? A volunteer kindly. I will appreciate. No, no volunteer. Anyone? Okay, I can see a hand raised up. Thank you, Shadrach. Go ahead, Shadrach.
Let's pray. Mighty everlasting Father, we want to thank you for this session. We want to thank you for the tutors, oh God. As we are going to proceed, let it help us both mentally, technically, as this session, oh God, help the tutors, help the students, help us to just name I pray and believe. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Thank you, Shadrach. Good to see every one of us here. Quite a number. We're expecting some more people will join us as we go on. Yeah, James Mogo, as you have heard, being introduced by our very able President Sylvia Musangi. My name is Mogo. I'm a student at MULTIMEDIA. You know, I think the internet is quite low on my end, so you're not able to see my face at the moment. I hope it does. So, yep. So I am a student at MULTIMEDIA University. Another student pursuing computer science. I'm also a Huawei campus ambassador at the same school. Yep, I can say a lot has happened in the academy. I've learned a lot from our trainer and my fellow students. And as we start this session, I hope it will be a start of a journey for, let me say, most of you or some of us, as we make our mind during this career path. So welcome so much, guys. Today, as you've heard, will be an info session. So I'd like to welcome our first speaker. I don't know whether Lumo is Irvin around.
I think we'll have Teacher Karis first, and then Arvin will go next.
Okay. So Teacher Karis can go on. Okay. Welcome, Karis.
Okay. Thank you very much, my brother. Thank you very much. To all the participants, karibuni sana kwa huu mkutano. We don't want to take much of your time because we understand that you have other things to do. That you're also using internet bundles. So this is our brief program. Arvin Lumumba from Huawei was supposed to go before me, but now I'll have to go before because he held up somewhere, but he will be in shortly. I'll talk about the MMU. Will come in to talk about a Huawei program called Seeds for the Future program. And went to China. Then Wamboi will talk about the ICT competition. Wamboi the global finals of the ICT competition recently. And then Millicent Kirui will talk about the iLine X Huawei program, job fairs, internship, and also the Ajira digital program. Okay, so if you can allow me to begin, I have a presentation here about the Huawei ICT Academy, that is the M Academy. My name is Kelvin Kariuki Mwangi. I'm a tutorial fellow at Multimedia University of Kenya. I'm also the Huawei ICT Academy Administrator at MMU. I did a BSc in computer technology, MSc in distributed computing technology, and I'm doing a PhD in information system right now. I have a certification in Cisco, a HCAI R&S, that is the Huawei networking associate level certification, and also the professional level HCIP. Sometime last year I started HCIP, and I'm still continuing to work on it. So a brief history of the Huawei ICT Academy. Around October 2018, we were certified as a Huawei, and two of us were also trained. My colleague Mr. Manotti and myself on routing and switching. In 2019, we advertised and launched the first cohort whose picture appear here. We advertised for the Huawei ICT. Time it was called HCNA, as you can see on this roll-up banner here, HCNA. So it was Certified Network Associate course. So we launched it, and we were able to run 2 cohorts with about 20 students each, one for evening classes and another one for a weekend classes, that is Saturday classes. 2020 happened. Luckily, Huawei still were very innovative, and they introduced what they called the home study program, and we were still able to teach a few other online. So far we've been able to train about 7 cohorts MMU on different courses, as I'm going to show you. In 2021, we also offer a number of courses. Already offered a security course and AI course. Right now we are advertising for a data communication or training. Through hard work and support, especially for students who are highly motivated, +1 students, we were able to be awarded as the best Huawei ICT Academy in 2019. As you can see, showing my colleague Mr. Manotti with the suit or coat, together with myself, were also awarded as the best Huawei Academy instructors on the same event. Now, our students in the Huawei ICT competition, and they won at the national level. If I can get that here. So we had a number of our students, like most likely you're going to hear from Bruce. That is Bruce. You've heard of Wamboy. She's also a student ambassador. And then we also have Naftal, and we have a number of others who we cannot see here. There were about 5. So they won. They were among the top 10 in the national competition. Luckily, Bruce and Wamboy, not Bruce and Wamboy, but Naftal and Wamboy went further to the regional level of the competition, and they won. And finally, they participated in the global competition, and again, they became position number 3 at the global stage. Really, really great achievement. Okay, so we have a number of courses at the MMU Huawei ICT Academy. The first one is the HCAI. We also have HCAI in artificial intelligence. So HCIA stands for Huawei Certified. I is for ICT. Then A is for Associate. So Huawei Certified ICT Associate. All these are actually professional ICT certifications that are recognized. So if you have it, you can work in a country that requires Huawei services in any of the areas. Now, this is a new course. It's called Huawei Certified ICT Associate Datacom. So Datacom is for data communication in full. And generally, this is the updated HCIA routing and switching. So this one is the one that is going to place routing and switching. IP routing and switching because it's still recognized. Now we have 4 instructors so far. The first one here is Mr. Geoffrey Manotti. Mr. Geoffrey Manotti has several Huawei certifications together with other certifications from Cisco, currently pursuing excuse me, I think someone's mic is on. Masoso, sorry. Manotti is currently pursuing CEH something. Is that certification for security? And you can see that he is also HCIP certified in routing and switching. And then we have Mr. Nicholas Njiru. He's our guy for AI. So he's the one that trains AI. Just to mention, Mr. Manotti has trained more than 4 cohorts, by the way, switching. He's not done any training for security so far. Mr. Njiru, on the other hand, has trained for artificial intelligence, one here at MMU, and one that he did African region UNESCO. Then Cisco certified, and I've also done Huawei Datacom and HCIP routing and switching. Then for security, we have our instructor here, who's Victor Murithi. So he's trained 1 cohort, which completed on March, and he's going to advertise for a class very soon. We have so far advertised for a HCIA Datacom, and it's 7 June. Now, one of the things that we pride ourselves in and that has given us a high success rate is how passionate our instructors have been and committed in preparing students to sit for this exam at which we do the training. So this is just a snapshot of training lab. For example, this picture was taken during the cohort 1 training. It's quite a nice looking lab with very powerful machines. And what I love about it is the fact that it also has a high definition projector and also well-equipped public address systems. Normally, for example, when I teach some concepts, I normally like reinforcing them using YouTube videos. Yes, some concepts like OSPF, for example, in data communication, some protocols, you get that there are companies who've done better animated, well-animated videos on YouTube. So the PA and the projector comes in handy whenever we're doing such tricks. It greatly benefits our students. During the award, we were awarded 4 routers and 5 Huawei switches. So I want to report here that time last year, I think in the month of October, we received this equipment, and now during our boot camps and trainings, we will be able to really offer hands-on training and not just training based on the software. So this again is an added advantage on why you should consider MMU Huawei Academy. We regularly organize what we call boot camps, where we can have the trainees come together, give them challenges to solve. Some of these challenges we really derive from the ICT. We give a particular challenge, then supposed to solve it using practical equipment. So recently, I think in the month of February, ambassadors organized one. It was ended. Most of the students were still at home because of Corona, but at least the few that really enjoyed the session, I'm sure they learned a lot. So for the associate level courses, we charge 20,000 Kenya for students and MMU alumni. For the other, for completely new students to MMU, we charge them 25K. Good thing is that you can pay this amount in installments, at least half during registration, then the rest during the 2 months, because we have about 2 months between the start of the training and the exam. So before the exam, you should have completed. The other good thing is that in most of these certifications, like you've done Cisco, you know, for an exam voucher for you to do the certification exam. But luckily, Huawei really provides for this exam vouchers for us, because they're still marketing their courses in Kenya. They actually cost. It's a really good deal. On the application procedure, you can either apply application. That means that you come to the MMU administration, then at the corporate affairs office, given an application letter, then you'll pay 500 at the cashier's office, then you go ID and KCP certificate, and you hand it over to the admissions. Otherwise, you can also apply online. Apply online via that link, onlineapplication.mmu.ac.ke. Then you'll be able to pay via M-Pesa. After you apply, if you've qualified, the admissions office will simply call you and give you further how to register, how to pay fee, and any other thing that you require. So that is. So, ladies and gentlemen, for your time, if they allow me, I can receive 2 questions and maybe respond to them.
Sure. Thank you so much, Teacher Karis, for that wonderful presentation. I'm sure you guys have learned a lot.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody with a question? Questions? Kindly feel free to ask questions.
Good afternoon, everyone. Am I audible?
Yes,
Good afternoon.
Okay.
Loud enough.
Okay. So, Kelvin, my question is one and one only.
Yes, Mr. Good.
What is the rationale behind changing from routing and switching to Datacom? Datacom almost sounds like computer packages. Now unacheza na Excel and Access. So what was the whole rationale behind it? Because from where I stand, routing and switching sounds more, it sounds working. Because if they wanted to
more
add
specific.
more, exactly. If they wanted to add more modules, they could have just done it. And when they're advertising,
okay,
we've added, maybe we've removed OSPF, maybe RIP is still there, but we've added wireless LAN, access points and the likes. So what is the rationale behind that change? Thank you.
Let me try. There's something I'm looking for. Where is it? Datacom. Okay, Ravi, very much for that question. I know Datacom sounds a little bit, and I like it that way because now, if you look at the next level of certification, which is HCIP, they've really broken it down. I'm just trying. Let me see if I can show you that. They've really broken their HCIP now into very specific areas, because Datacom now is just supposed to give you the foundation, specialize when you do the professional level course. I'm trying to find that particular, just a moment. Just a moment, Huawei. Just a moment, sorry for that. You waited quite a long time. There's a video I'm looking for. Okay, I found it. Let me just share my screen again. So there's a webinar we attended. In this webinar, oh, okay. Okay, here. So this is what I wanted to share. You see, you begin at HCAI, data communication. But now, unlike routing and switching, which had just routing and switching stuff, now here, after doing datacom, you can be able to specialize in one of these professional areas. Now, this is just now the routing and switching. Now, if you want to do stuff about networking, configuration of devices, blah, 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 HCIP, datacom, advanced routing and switching. So this is what was there before. Now, other than that, now they've introduced also campus network planning and deployment. So if you want to specialize in planning for a network project and how to set up a network within an organization, then they also have enterprise network solution design and a very new area in networking, which is network automation. So people who want to program networks. So I think that is why they decided to change. This will not have fit. We couldn't have done R&S here, and because it wouldn't have made sense in these other areas. So I think that is the main reason as to why they did that. And you can see for HCIE, now it's just HCIE.com. Oh, we have two others, by the way, here for HCIP. You can still do SD1 and I think one planning. So about six other courses for HCIP. So that is my explanation. I might not be correct, but that is my thinking about it. Any other question?
There are some questions in the chat section.
On the chat, eh?
Yeah, you can answer. Shadrach is one that hasn't been responded to, I think.
Okay, I can see Engineer Badia can also online. We've been offering courses online, but right now, because the country has been opened up, we want to do it practically. Because of reasons I've already explained, we want you to have a practical experience with the real devices rather than just using the simulation software. How convenient is it to study online, especially for practicals? So again, it's a little challenge to learn online, but again, because we have the simulation software, there's nothing you can't do on the simulation software. There's nothing you can't do on a physical device that really you can do on the simulation software or vice versa. So the simulation software is very is very powerful. It's called ENSP. So whichever way, it depends with your preference. But right now, the class that we are advertising for is a face-to-face class. Hi, Sam. Oh, okay. So Shadrach, I'm a third-year student in the University of Embu. I'm so interested in the course, but it's not offered here. Can we register too? Yes, you can also. So you can also register open for MMU students and any other person who wishes to do this course. In fact, Form 4 leavers who have a background in computer, they've done maybe computer in high school, they can actually do this certification. Ni kama tu CPA, when you kuna tu tuka high school na unaanza kufanya CPA. A good example that we have here with us today is Bruce. Bruce started doing this certification when he joined us in first year, and he really performed well, participated in ICT competition, and he was able to appear among the top 10. He didn't go to the regional finals, but that was a very big win. So we as much as possible to do the best. Okay. Anne Riara, what is the advantage of taking HCIA over CCNA? I think someone else will answer that. So someone else will answer that. Can the 6 HCIP courses pursue concurrently? Yes, you can, but it's not even possible because the content of most of these courses are not very easy. So most of the time it's just good that you do one at a time. Learning premises are situated at MMU. Yes, Engineer Obadia. Can I qualify for HCIP without it? No, it's not possible because you need to learn the basics. For example, how to use the ENSP, the commands, how to configure Huawei routers, switches, firewalls. So you can't go to HCIP without learning HCIA. It's going to be a very steep nini for you. I'm in Meru, Sam. Is there any branch within Meru County that I can study since you encourage physical classes because I can't make it to Nairobi? Unfortunately, we don't have a branch anywhere else in the country. We just have the main campus, which is in Karen, Nairobi. Okay, so thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I hope I've responded to most of you. I'll give back the control to the MC. Asanteni for your time.
Thank you so much, Chakaris. I hope your questions have been answered. This time, can move on to the next speaker. Sylvia, welcome.
Hi again.
And okay, excuse me, Sylvia. Before Sylvia comes on, as we had said earlier, those people, the top 10, those who had was the first to arrive, you know what I promise, there will be some airtime for you. So just stream so that you can get your details after the session. And also, if you are active enough, you can also get to get something. So ask as many questions, contribute, and who knows, you might end up getting something. So thank you, Sylvia.
Okay. Hi. Good evening once again. So my presentation is about Huawei Seeds for the Future program that unfortunately at the moment is only available online. I don't know if we've changed it this year, but for last year it was online. So yeah, a brief introduction of who I am. This is me in all my glory. My name is Sylvia Musangi Mibanja. I am a fourth-year student at the Multimedia University of Kenya. I am HCIA certified when it was known as routing and switching. And I am also a Huawei campus ambassador and the president of the Huawei ICT Academy Club, and also an alumni of Huawei Seeds for the Future. Yes. So a brief history on what Seeds for the Future is. It's a CSR program by Huawei that was launched in 2008, and so when they came into Kenya in 2014, and that's when they partnered with the ICT Authority of Kenya to be able to offer students internship in their Nairobi offices. And once you're done with your internship, if you're lucky, or if they see your, it's not even about luck. If you performed very well in your internship, then they'll be able to select you and take you to China for further training. So basically, this program just encourages students and of course the interns to be able to not only gain the theoretical knowledge, but to also gain practical knowledge in terms of networking. So if you've done HCIA routing and switching, then you should be able to put your skills into action. Yeah, so basically that is what the program is about. So ever since it started, they've taken 47 interns. That was until 2019, when everything now went, COVID. So yes, so I will tell you about my experience when we went to China. So prior to me actually going to China, I had just done HCIA routing and switching. I was among the top scoring students. So I got an internship actually applied for an internship to Huawei Kenya, but there was a portal called ICT or ICTA something. So through that portal, but now through Huawei, I got an internship for 2 months in their offices. It was during that time that I met a co-worker who actually told me, it was just a random conversation, and they just mentioned, "Are you going to China?" Then I was like, "No, why would I go to China?" And he was like, "Usually take interns to China." And I was like, okay, maybe they'll select me. So 2 months down the line, in like the last 2 weeks, I got an email. I was told to go for some meeting, and then that's when I was told I was going to China with other students, So we went back to school, rather I went back to school at that time. And in October, I left for 2 weeks to China with the rest of the people. Yeah, so we arrived, and some of the some of the places we visited were the Great Wall. So the Great Wall is divided into sections. So we only visited this section, and this was in Beijing. So the first,
Sylvia,
sorry, yes,
Sylvia,
yes.
you're breaking. Your audio is breaking.
For real. How long has
Yeah.
it been breaking?
It's been a minute, but
Okay, so let me just, can you hear me now?
yes.
Okay, let me slow down. Hopefully it will stop breaking. The internet is not as stable. Yeah, so let me start from when we left Kenya for China. The first stop was the capital of China, which is Beijing. And then now we visited about 2 tourist sites, and then we started our learning. So the first site we visited was the Great Wall of China. And then the second place was a place called the Palace Museum. It's how do I call it? You can read about it on Wikipedia, but essentially it is tied very closely to their history. It's like how we have Bomas of Kenya, and it has the different manyatas that the Maasai people used to live in. And then you also get to hear about, how it all began. So basically this is it for them, the Palace Museum. Then during the week, we went to Beijing Language and Culture University, where we learned basic Chinese and calligraphy. So I do not speak it now, but at that time I was very fluent. I promise. Yes. And then yeah, so we also did some calligraphy. It's very interesting. I recommend you visit it if ever you get the chance. Then we also got an opportunity to meet Sarah Serem, who is the ambassador from Kenya to China. So yeah, she is right there. And then during the whole encounter, we were able to, there's a form of art that they have there in China where you make things with some form of clay. So we made pandas, so that's the main animal, the animal that they like. I think I saw it a lot there. So we did the pandas. We also got to see some other form of art called, in English, it translates to changing face, but I don't know how to say it in Chinese. So it's just someone who changes their mask like really quickly. Like you can't even tell. Yes. So after that, our next stop was in Shenzhen, China, where we stayed in there's a hotel by, I think it's by Huawei. Yeah. So we got to visit the HQ and we learned so much. They have so much equipment. We got to see all the technologies they've ever built and what they actually hope to do with 5G. Am I breaking again? Can you hear me now properly?
Yes, you are.
You can hear me again. You can hear me now properly.
We can hear you, but you're breaking. Your audio is breaking.
Okay.
Yeah.
And now? Okay. So this is actually, I don't know, can you see my screen properly? Should have asked that.
Not really. Still breaking.
The screen.
Still not audible.
Nonetheless, I think I'll share my screen. Yeah, I think it goes without saying that if you've accepted to join this meeting, you've also accepted that it be recorded. All right, I'll share my screen and just present what we had prepared. I'm coming into this meeting in many capacities, so I was even wondering when I was asking Kate whether or not I should come in as myself or as the company that I work for. So, but I'm well guided. I will represent Huawei for this particular session. Just give me a second. All right. Okay, please confirm that you can see my screen. Teacher Karis?
Yep, we can see it. Thank you.
All right, perfect. Okay, so I'll just run through a presentation of Huawei as a company, as well as to introduce to you a few of the things we are doing in the tech space that we think is important in leading the digital transformation that we are seeing today. I mean, COVID-19 has shown us the importance of tech in various ways. And I think for us as young people who are just, either entering university, going through university, or even about to leave university, we are at the crux of this matter. We are at the crux of actually leading the next digital transformation as we know it, not just in our own professional lives, but also in our communities, in our personal lives. And it's important to know what players like Huawei are doing in this sector. So I'll do a quick introduction of myself. I'm a former Huawei campus ambassador, 2018, 2019. Those were good old times. Top photo on the right, that is Teacher Karis, myself, Casti, and Teacher George Manotti. And 2019, 2020, I think, that's when also we won the best university, ICT Academy in Kenya, and that was the trophy we brought home. Currently, I serve as the channel service manager at Huawei Kenya, and I'm pleasured to be here in all ways. So thank you so much for the invite. So what's Huawei at a glance? Huawei is, of course, as you know, it's an international company with headquarters in China, but currently we are operating in over 170 countries. We ranked 72 in the global Fortune 500 list. This has been consistently improving, and currently we are clocking just above 180,000 employees worldwide, which is quite a figure. I mean, when you look at Amazon, it goes to around 250, which is currently, I think the leading employer in terms of figures. We also invest heavily in R&D, that is research and development. 80,000 employees from the and 180 serving R&D, and we also have innovation centers and also R&D centers strewn all over the globe, across the world. So then I want to just break down what Huawei's enterprise service portfolio is. What do we do as a company, especially from the department that I come. So let me just begin with saying Huawei has a bunch of business groups. So we have the enterprise business group, we have the carrier business group, and we also have what I could call the managed services business group. For this particular session, I'll focus majorly on enterprise because it has bits and pieces that go into all the other departments. So the enterprise business department focuses on four or five major areas. Number one, network design and solution. Number two, industry operation. Number three, cloud. Number four, industry solution. And the fifth one is talent development or training and certification. Now, in these areas, you can see a network solution is, of course, where now the network engineers come in, data center and all that. And then industry operation and support. This is majorly where, so there are many pieces or phases in a project lifecycle. There is the implementation, and then there is also the maintenance of that project. So industry operation and support is where now the maintenance and support comes in. In this case, we have tools and features that can help our customers be able to manage and maintain, let's say, our deployed networks or our deployed enterprise solutions. Cloud enablement service is largely a new service currently, but we are focusing on cloud computing, big data, and cloud networking, which I think has been mentioned previously. And in this case, we're looking to enable our customers achieve agility by moving their services to the cloud. In this case, you might be aware of AWS, that is Amazon Web Services, Azure by Microsoft, or Google Cloud. We're just entering the same space, but for us, we're focusing majorly on enterprise customers with a bias towards data center and data center cloudification. And then industry solution service, this is where we now focus on major industry, what we call industry verticals. In this case, stuff like public safety. We have also smart city solutions. We have smart campus solutions. We have smart transportation solutions. And we also have energy, finance, manufacturing solutions. Especially in 5G, these sectors are really being disrupted. And I can tell you for a fact, Huawei is playing a bleeding edge role in that particular area. And of course, now there is the training and certification side of it, where now we're focusing on, again, three major verticals. We have infrastructure certification. This is mostly for our partners or our customers in terms of what we have deployed and what they need to know. And then we also have platform and service certification. Again, this is just based on our platforms and our deployed tools. And also we have vertical certifications. This is perhaps mostly what we're going to be discussing today in terms of the career certifications that are available to not just our partners, but also our the public, our students in the academy partner, in the academy institutions, and also what you should definitely take up going forward with regards to preparing yourself for this digital disruption that's going on. So maybe I can also just bring it home to discuss what are the enterprise key projects that we've done in Kenya. The M-Pesa solution currently runs on Huawei infrastructure. That is, we've deployed the network. We've also deployed currently the server system in terms of maintenance and all that. It runs on our platform. Also, there is a technology that I'll probably give you to go research as homework. It's called the G2 SIM technology. You'll probably learn 2 or 3 things about it, and also about Huawei and M-Pesa. And then Safe City, you might have seen this. Maybe not, but essentially what you're trying to also help the government do is build safer cities in terms of monitoring transport, monitoring crime, monitoring hotspots across the city and across our major towns. So that is one of the projects we've partnered with the National Police Service. The National Optical Fiber Backbone Infrastructure. This is a massive project that began, I think, in 2016-17 thereabout, where we have this ambitious partnership with the government of Kenya through the Ministry of ICT and Youth Affairs to deploy a nationwide fiber optic system. Actually, what has happened is we completed the first 2 phases of this project, handed over to the government, and currently what Huawei is just doing is we're helping the government to maintain the fiber optic network. This is a very important project because this is exactly what's going to help us bring the internet to everyone, despite of where you are, despite of what county you live in, and despite of whatever marginalization you might be facing because of lack of infrastructure. If you can get the backbone to every county, that means then it's just now last mile connectivity, of course, with proactivity from the government to help us now ensure that every major institution in those counties are connected to, the infrastructure, the backbone, and then from there also then connect even, let me say, the households and so on and so forth. For the SGR, we provide the communication infrastructure for SGR. And I know also with the coming in of 5G, if all goes well, we might also just see 5G being deployed across the SGR network. And then we've also built the government data center. This is with the national DC, but also we have the Konza City data center, which is currently one of the projects I'm actively involved in. We also have the intelligent transport system, just simply tied also to the Safe City, and also the transport information management system, the TIMS by NTSA. So you can see there are various projects that are going on. I also should add on this list that we also are working with KCB. You might have heard about the Vuma application, mobile money transfer and stuff like that. We're also helping KCB deploy the Vuma app. It runs on our infrastructure. Same thing goes for NCBA Bank. So there's a lot of opportunities in terms of what could be done in this tech industry. And honestly, it's for me and you to just leave it go without being proactive. So clearly, with the fact that we have such a huge demand for solutions in the tech industry, it also comes with the fact that if the human resource can't catch up, you're going to have a gap. And as most of you know, mostly academia lags behind industry, which it shouldn't be the case. Mostly, at least in the ideal scenario, academia should be leading industry in terms of research and in terms of also solutions. But we are working also with academia in this area to try and help them deploy rapid developing technology, educate academia in terms of the students in our ICT academies, in terms of what technologies we are working with, what technologies are coming out, what vendor-specific knowledge and hands-on experience you as students need to have, and also what kind of fields are ripe for disruption in terms of needing technical talent and needing technical skill. And so this is largely also what we are working with the Multimedia University ICT Academy, and through courses like the HCIA, R&S, Datacom, and also I know we are offering artificial intelligence. You should be able to catch up on these things and be, on the forefront of technical skill based on your interests going forward. So the ICT Academy model, essentially it's just a partnership between Huawei and, in this case, Multimedia University. We have, I think, over 42 ICT academies partnered with us currently. And so through these partnerships, what our objectives are, as you can see, we want to bring our technologies to the point where students can actually work on those technologies and be able to transfer that knowledge. We want to bring learning solutions to meet industry requirements so that you don't graduate only with theoretical knowledge, but you also graduate with industry-ready knowledge. And then training and qualifying you in this industry through certifications and careers in the ICT sector. I mean, at this point, I should mention that the best time to tarmac is when you're still in school. Forgive me if you're just done with school. I'm not saying you're supposed to tarmac or anything like that. I mean, we just know the reality of the issue is that there is a pain in terms of employment in the not just in this country but globally. So for me, what I always tell young people whenever we get an opportunity to catch up is, look, if you want to be ahead of the pack, you can't wait until you graduate for you to start, finding out what you need to work on in terms of your skills, or start complaining that employers don't value your degree or diploma or certificate. If you're waiting to graduate so you can start finding these certifications or skilling up, you missed the starting gun. You need to start it as soon as today, or as soon as you have an opportunity, so that once you go out there, it's only a matter of choosing what opportunities best fit you. Yeah. So that's also what you're trying to do with the Huawei ICT academies, that we're able to bring these opportunities down to academia level, and you can take them up as opportunities for growth. At this point, I can just highlight our portfolio in terms of certifications. Sorry, I'm hearing some continuous beep. I don't know if it's coming from my side. Maybe Mesh can mute. Meanwhile, thank you so much. All right, so our certification portfolio, and I think I'll probably need to, I'll need to highlight some of this just to annotate for you to follow along. All right, so we have the ICT infrastructure. This is majorly the guys who will be working on building out the infrastructure that we need. And then we also have the platform and cloud service path. So currently, I think I could focus majorly on this area because this is where we are, let me say, well rolled out in. So we have different available certifications. We have certifications in transmission, access, long-term evolution or 4G. We also have 5G. We also have datacom. This is what Teacher Carissa was mentioning, I think, when I joined. We also have wireless LAN. We have security. We have software-defined networks. We have storage, intelligent computing, enterprise communication, intelligent vision, which I think is going to be transformed into, going to be upgraded into video communication, if I'm not wrong. And they also have data center technologies. As probably had been mentioned before I even joined, datacom is the most basic of all this, in the sense of if you're able to get the nuts and bolts of datacom in terms of routing and switching, in terms of campus network deployment, cloud networking, you're able to easily branch out to any of these other areas and proceed to take your interests. Yeah, and so we have 3 levels of certification. We have HCIA, HCIP, and HCIE. I won't dive deeper into that because I think it's been mentioned. What I'll just mention that might be of interest to you is starting this year, there is an upgrade that's being made to the HCIE. Normally, previously, you'd have to do 3 exams in your HCIE level. That is your written exam, and then you'd have to do a lab exam, and then you'd have to do an interview exam. But currently, the interview exam is being scrapped off. So we only have the lab exam and the written exam. So which means that's an incentive for you to begin your HCIA, HCIP journey as soon as possible. So you can also take the chance and take the leap to be HCIE, which is a very lucrative certification to have. I mean, that means you're going to be a respected expert in the industry. All right. Let me proceed. So why should you take the Huawei certification? I think I've really highlighted this, but I'll just again, probably for the sake of emphasis, go through it again. Number one, you're able to access our e-learning resources. I'm sure iLearning X has been mentioned. If it hasn't, it'll be mentioned. That's our platform for self-paced learning. And then you also have you're able to get a globally recognized certification. I mean, Huawei is globally recognized. And so by you taking the chance to be associated with Huawei certifications, that means anyone in the industry, especially seeing the projects that we are running and the kind of partners that we have in terms of networks, then it's going to be easily identifiable as a skill set that anyone should desire for. And then discounted exam vouchers. This has been running. We're trying to manage it. But sooner or later we might have to pull back the discounts, in the sense of you might have to pay off the full amount. Currently the discount allows you to take the voucher at 20,000 Kenyan shillings, but if you're getting the voucher through our ICT academies or our partners, then it's free. So again, that's an incentive for you to sign up as soon as possible in the programs that MMU is offering, as well as our other ICT academies. And then you also get the chance to participate in the ICT competition, which I'll mention quite in depth a little later. Seeds for the Future program, and also the Presidential Digital Talent program. I'm sure you know about those. And also job and internship offers. Most of our partners currently, I mean, Huawei began this earlier in the sense of we focus on people who have our certifications. And now even our partners are insisting on, I mean, can we get people who already have a certification, so we can know that these are people who are verified, in the sense of they're able to deliver Huawei solutions based on the training and skills that they've achieved. All right, and what support we offer is we're able to connect our talent academies, in this case, for instance, MMU, to our customers, our industry partners, our solution partners, and also to Huawei itself. We normally hold job fairs. Actually, we just held one, I think, 2 weeks ago. I'm sure, again, it's going to be mentioned at some point. And this is part of the active support, proactive actually support that we offer, in the sense of ensuring that we are walking this digital journey with you, leaving no one behind, and building a future that we can all, be proud of in terms of a digital economy. All right, we have a global footprint, currently grossing over, I think, 2,000 academies, and also the number of instructors is blowing up. Currently you can see we are certifying almost 25,000 students per year. So, I mean, it's only upon you being proactive to take these opportunities when they're first availed to you, so you can be able to, be on the bleeding edge of the tech industry. Again, I'll emphasize this: do not wait to graduate for you to take these opportunities. You'll be too late. All right. This is a list of some of our partners in Kenya. We have, as I mentioned earlier, 42 public and private university partners. I had someone mention they're not able to come to Multimedia University. Yeah, so you could probably check which university here perhaps could be closest to where you are. But then again, I can vouch for Multimedia University, having been a product of it currently as we speak. And I mean, if we don't offering the online courses, I guess then it's best if you can find a place close at home that you can plug yourself into. We also have a numerous amount of certified trainers, in this case, teacher careers, as well as the other mentioned staff members. And currently we have over 4,500 students trained and certified. So again, you can see the numbers are going up. And the moment, again, we hit that threshold of huge supply again of certified skill, again, you see it becomes a problem. So it's best, and I'll insist for you to take these opportunities as soon as possible. What I'm trying to insist is be an early adopter, especially for things that you see are literally going to open doors for you, or are literally going to give you an edge over something, over someone else, or over opportunities that you might be seeking. Again, opportunity favors a prepared mind and a prepared person. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I wanted to mention about the ICT competition. We have this annual competition that happens beginning 2015. And what normally happens is we organize a competition for students worldwide. And what happens during this competition, normally we give tracks. So for instance, we could have a network track, we could have a cloud track, I think we even have a security track. And what those tracks mean is based on where you think your strengths lie. So if, let's say, you've been trained in HCIA, Datacom, or routing and switching, then technically you'd be best placed to go for the network track. If you have a cloud certification, you could go for the cloud, and security if you have security. Now, what happens then is we have the foundational stage where students from every campus, in this sense, every ICT academy, are invited to participate. And then from that, we choose, or we shortlist a number of those students. I can see someone is annotating on my screen. But I'll just mention that we have the national level, shortlisted from the larger pool of everyone who participated. And then from the national level, we have the regional, or rather semi-final level, where, for instance, I think before Corona, guys went to South Africa. Some also went to Algeria. So in this case, we have a regional competition now, in this case, focusing on Africa-wide. We also have others in Asia, we have others in the Americas, and we also have others in Europe. And then from the top lists of all those, regional finalists, we send the top performers to the global finals. Mostly they're held in China. Last year, unfortunately, again, because of Corona, that couldn't happen. But I know Kate, as well as Naftali, represented us quite well. I'm sure, again, that will be mentioned in depth. So again, this is an opportunity for you to, get your hands dirty in terms of skilling up, comparing your skill based on what the industry requires and what other people have, and just being able to verify what skill set you have and how useful it is in terms of what Huawei is offering. So again, I know that the next one is being opened in June, which is next month. So just keep an eye out for this. And the best way to, again, be ready for it is check the certification, start studying, start, making yourself aware of that which you need to know at the end of the day. Give me a second to clear. All right. So I mentioned earlier that Huawei focuses also on, connecting our skilled students to opportunities. And one such opportunity is this Huawei Management Trainee Program. Normally, we are focusing on graduated students. And in this case, I know for this year, we are focusing on 2020, 2021 graduates. So if we have any graduates here, this is an opportunity I think I want you to try out. And you have a second-class upper, preferably if you have a Huawei certification. I'd like you to go to that link, career.huawei.com, and go on to apply. The deadline is fast approaching. That should be 31st of this month. I think that should be Sunday, if I'm not wrong. So again, please take the leap. It's an amazing program. It takes you through 6 months of pure training. You'd feel like it's university all over again, but in this case, you're paid to study, you're paid to solve problems, and eventually you're rewarded by either being absorbed into Huawei or absorbed into a partner ecosystem. So again, if you have any graduates here, please, I'd like you to take this opportunity and take it seriously. All right, I think I will close my long presentation here and hand it back to the MCs. Probably I don't know if you're taking questions here or later, but yeah, I'm happy to have shared and taken you through a very long presentation, sorry.
Okay, thank you so much, Lumumba, for the presentation. I think very good and very wide. Thank you so much. I think we can take, each time we can take two questions, if there are any questions. And I can also see a question on the chat section. Okay, we can start. Ben Kisebe, do you have a question? Okay. Lynn Miano is asking, is the Huawei certification on cloud service and platform very different from the Microsoft Azure certification based on cloud services? You can answer that.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Lynn, for that question. So essentially, the concepts are similar, but the implementation is different. So for instance, you'll find that, again, all these vendors are trying to lock people into their ecosystems, yeah? So you'll find, and even if you look at the routing and switching and versus Cisco, you'll find, again, the concepts are similar, that it's an industry standard, but the implementation is different. So, I mean, I could say if you already have the Azure, if you already have the Azure, if you already have the Azure certification or even AWS or GCP, that's good enough. That it just means that you'll have an easier time picking up the Huawei Cloud certification. That's the easiest way I can break it down.
Thank you. I hope that is clear, Lynn. I think Steve Jr. is asking, can I get absorbed at Huawei with a CCNA certificate?
Steve, that's a good question. Let me just say times are changing. A year ago, that actually would have been a plus, but currently with the increasing number of Huawei certified professionals, then you'd have a harder task, trying to break into it. So I'm not saying I'll rule you out, but I'm just saying it's going to be a little harder, in the sense of the fact that currently, again, we have so many upcoming, Huawei certified professionals, and especially also if they already also have the CCNA certification. So I would say choose your aim. Rather choose your target, aim, and shoot for it. You could add the certification from Huawei as a plus. That actually definitely put you on the top. Yeah.
Right. Thank you so much, Ivan. I think there are no more questions. If you have a question, you can pop it up chat section. I think Sylvia is back. Sylvia can complete on her presentation. And now we can ask some questions. Yep. So Sylvia, if you're up, you can finalize on your presentation.
Yeah. First of all, I want to apologize for actually dropping off. Living along Mombasa road is not the best. So yeah, power is an issue. But I'm back now. I'll just make it short. I won't even present my screen. I think I had reached where I was talking about when we went to the HQ, the Huawei HQ in Shenzhen, China. There we learned a lot about 4G and 5G base station configuration. So that's basically, I think the layman's term for a base station is a booster. The red and white things you see on the road, they're really tall, and so basically that's a base station. And now how to configure it, like the different equipment that you need on that thing. Let's just call it a thing for now. That's not a thing. Yeah, so that's what we learned. And on top of that, we also got to interact mostly with now other students from other countries. So there were some Italians, some people from Denmark, Costa Rica, Philippines. Yeah, there are about 5 more countries other than us, and all of them were students. And yeah, it was an amazing experience to actually interact with them. But so over and above that whole experience, I think I'd say what I really gained from it wasn't really a wake-up call, but like a reminder that you need to always do something that is outside what you normally do. Because normally I wouldn't take up a course in networking, but in 2019 I did, and it got me to China, and got me into I'm now campus ambassador. Like there's so much I have gotten through doing that networking course. Of course, I will continue to pursue more courses, but that's like the one reminder I got, like do something outside your comfort zone. And also the other thing is to socialize. Like you never know who you're talking to, and whatever they might say to you is will either stick with you forever or it will lead you someplace you don't know that you'll end up liking. So yes, that is it from me. If you have any questions, just post them in the chat and yeah, I'll answer them. Thank you. Jimmy, you can take over.
Thank you so much, Sylvia. Thank you for that. Any questions? Before I ask my own, I have some few questions, so be prepared. So any questions that you would want to ask Sylvia? Okay. So I have some few questions here before the next speaker comes up. So based on the first come first serve basis. So if you answer this first, so you stand a chance of getting something. So this will be based on what the speakers, the previous speakers have shared. So what is the name of the updated course that after HCIA? So anyone? What is it called? The one that have been changed. So yep. So we have this. The first one was Maobe Maeba. Thank you, HCIA.com. Thank you very much. Abby, yes, Milka, and Engineer Badaya. Thank you very much. The next, someone can be noting the names down, kindly. So we can. So we have Maobe Maeba. Okay, thank you. So when Sylvia was presenting her experience and her PowerPoint, so he mentioned something. So about the Seeds for the Future program. So when was it launched? He mentioned the year that it was launched. So anyone? When was the Seeds for the Future program launched? Abby saying 2014, not 2014. Yes, we have 208 from Anne Wairiara. The first 208 answer. Thank you so much, Anne Wairiara. So yeah, it's 208. Yep, that is when it was launched. So I think the second last question. Where are the Huawei headquarters based? Someone? Where are they based? The Huawei headquarters. Yep, the capital, the city and the place, not China. Yeah, it's definitely in China, but the city itself. No, not Beijing, not Shanghai, not.
Okay, I'm sorry for pronouncing it not very clearly. It's it's Shenzhen for a Kenyan,
Yes.
but it's Shenzhen for a Chinese person. Shenzhen.
Good. So
Shenzhen.
Yeah.
Shenzhen. Wow.
Okay.
And once again, was able to get that. Congratulations, Anne. So yeah, it's Shenzhen. Yes, Silver is putting it. And okay, the last question before the next speaker comes up. What are some of the projects that Huawei has undertaken in Kenya? You can name some few. Yes. M-Pesa is here. Pesa, yes. So here, Maobe has answered, so we shall take Milka. Let's take the first three. Milka, Sharon, and Engineer. Yes, so Milka said M-Pesa, Sharon said Konza, Engineer said M-Pesa. So Yeah, we can take Milka, Sharon Cherono, and Engineer Obadiah. Thank you so much. So because of time, I would like to welcome Kate. Yes, Kate. Kate, the floor is yours. Welcome. Thank you so much, guys, for being active. Thank you.
Thank you, Jimmy. So, hi everyone. My name is Wamboi, Kate, otherwise, and I'm going to take you through the Huawei ICT competition. Let me just share my screen. Okay, so I am a third year student, first of all, in taking math and computer science. Okay, can you hear me, by the way?
Loud and clear.
Oh, okay. So I'm a third year student taking math and computer science, and I'm going to be taking you through Huawei ICT competition, what it is, the requirements for participation, and my personal experience. So, well, this is me, my name, my certification, and that's my contact, my LinkedIn, and my email. So what's the ICT, Huawei ICT competition? It's an annual event that provides not only an international competition, but a communication platform for college students in Huawei ICT academies and higher education institutions within the Huawei ICT Academy program. So in lesser words, really, it's a platform for students in Huawei ICT academies to put their theoretical knowledge into practice. So all these courses you're learning, you know, the datacom, the security, wireless, AI, in the ICT competition, you get to actually practice, you know, now you're hands-on, you're getting down and dirty, as Lumumba said. So it aims to challenge your knowledge as well as your practical and application skills, and ultimately inspire innovation. So the theme for the ICT competition usually is connection, glory, future. So the tracks, like Lumumba explained, there are 3 tracks. There's network, cloud, and innovation. For network track, it involves 3 disciplines, which is RNS, which is soon to be changed to datacom, security, and wireless LAN. So if you pick the network track, you're supposed to know all 3. So essentially, it's like doing 3 certifications at once. Then there's the cloud track, which involves cloud computing, cloud service, big data, and storage. Then there's the innovation competition. So this, you just come up with an idea, you know, and, you know, you enter and hopefully you go up the ranks. So with these tracks, you're really not supposed to be, it's not a must that you be certified before you join the competition, but certification is also an added advantage since it gains you more points. So assuming you enter the competition with HCIA, security, or RNS, already that gives you're already 50 points ahead of everyone. Before doing anything, you already have 50 points. You're ahead of everyone just by having a certification. So these certificates are offered in MMU, or you can self-study on Huawei iLearning X, which Milka will explain more on. So, and they give you the content for studying. So no worries, you really don't have to already know this so that you can apply. So this is the schedule for the competition. The registration and self-study, well, it's from June really to October. I used the schedule for 2019. I'm pretty sure it's changed. So it's from June to October. That's when you register and you self-study. So you have a good amount of time to assuming you pick whichever track you pick, you have a sufficient amount of time to study and actually get the content. Then there's the preliminary exam. So this is now the the exam that actually checks. Okay, could you kindly mute your mic, whoever that is?
Alvin, I think Alvin, the mic is on. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you. So for the preliminary exam, usually so many people sign up for the competition. In my year, I remember it was around 10,000, I think. So the preliminary exam is where now essentially the cream are picked. So you do the exam, which is a written exam. So, okay, from here, I think I'm going to be a bit biased because what I did was network track. So I'm going to explain using the network track, but essentially that's what happens for all the tracks. So the preliminary exam, you do a written exam for, it's a 90-minute exam, and content from wireless, security, and routing and switching is in that exam. So depending on, your score, that's okay, 70 people are needed. That's the number that was needed in the year that I participated, 70. So out of 10,000, they pick 70, the best 70, who then proceed to the nationals. For the nationals, there's a 1-week bootcamp where you're trained on different technologies and protocols. And then there's a national, the national final is now a lab exam where you use Huawei's virtual lab, ENSP. I think maybe many of you have heard of it. So, okay, that's the national final. Then there's the regional final, which usually happens in South Africa. But because of COVID, I think it's going to be in Kenya for a while. So this one is a lab exam of 4 hours, but it's a team of 3 now. Usually you use the virtual lab and the real devices. Also, there's a global final, which happens in China. This one is an 8-hour exam, 4 hours of ENSP, 4 hours of real devices. I know it sounds like too much, but those 8 hours really fly. So yeah, that's basically the schedule. So if the getting, practicing your skills is not enough incentive, they offer awards for each stage of the competition. So for nationals, there's an award ceremony. For regionals, there's an award ceremony. For globals, there's an award ceremony. And usually this is what they offer: a certificate, a trophy, a laptop, a phone, a smart band, or a smartwatch. For this ones are for the excellent instructors and the best ICT academy. Okay, so this is essentially now my experience. For the preliminary exam, well, we did it in school. That one you can do it wherever you are. It's only, it's a theoretical exam that you can do from wherever you are. Then the 70 who, pass that exam, this was a setup for the national final exam. So you have each computer is assigned to one person, and you do the exam for 4 hours on Huawei's virtual lab ENSP. And from that, from whatever you do there, yeah, they pick 6, if I'm not wrong. 3, okay, do I remember? Yes, they pick 6 from the network track and 3 from the cloud track. So this is the awarding ceremony that happened at Radisson Blu. So again, if the practicing your skills is not enough incentive, there are still awards. And if the awards are still not enough incentives, you get to visit restaurants that you would normally not go to because of money. But yeah, so this one was at Radisson Blu. And this is me and Bruce. Naftal was also there representing our academy. So this is Teacher Karis and Mr. Manoti being awarded as the best Huawei Academy instructors. So you guys are being trained by the best. And MMU was also awarded as the best Huawei ICT Academy. Then this is now the regional final. If you pass the national final, we go on to the regional final, which is usually in South Africa, but this year was in Kenya. So this is 3 teams represented Kenya in the network track, not 2. 2 represented Kenya in the cloud track. So from this, 2 teams from network track passed moved on to the global final. And this is it, the two teams that moved to the global final. One team came out number 1 and the other team was number 3. The other team is my team. This is the final awarding ceremony that happened at Serena Hotel. And yeah, that's about it. So these are the opportunities that the ICT competition has given to me. Well, it was not only about the competition really, because from the competition, I think I have more skill, more understanding, and you really get to meet a lot of people along the way. You know, so there's so many opportunities. I was invited to speak at a textbook webinar. This is Technology Service Providers of Kenya. I got featured in a couple of newspaper articles, something I didn't ever think would happen in my life. I'm currently on an internship at Huawei. I became a Huawei ICT, campus ambassador, and I was able to become a Women in Tech Huawei member. And as a result of that, I've interacted with so many women who are accomplished in ICT. So anyone who wants to sign up for the competition, I would definitely advise you to go for it, because it cements also, we are not only doing the certifications to stay with them, you're doing them so that you can upskill and get employed eventually. And if Huawei is your dream company, go for it. Go for it. Take as many opportunities as you can. Sign up for Seeds of the Future. Right? Yes, and this Huawei ICT competition, sign up. Also for HMTP. And yeah, any question?
Thank you, Kate, for that. Some very beneficial insight there that you put across. Any questions?
I can see some on the chat. Yeah.
You can answer that.
Okay. Which criteria did they use to pick 70 out of 10,000 participants? So that's where the preliminary exam comes in. So that exam, they pick 70 of the best who performed the best in that exam to go on to the national. So Sharon Cherono, must you do HCIA in order to participate in the competition? No, it's really not a must. They'll give you the content to study on, but it's an added advantage if you do the HCIA, because it gives you 50 points over everyone else. And if you have any HCIA certification, that's already 50 points. If you have HCIP, that's 100 points. So you see, it's not really necessary, but it's an added advantage. I don't have thank you, engineer. So yeah, thank you guys.
Thank you so much, guys. Yes, and congratulations, Kate. Yeah, they are in order. So this is also a challenge to the ladies who think that this is not for them. You can do this, guys. Just have to be passionate and just go for it. So, yep, I hope you've gotten some insight. So I think we can move to the next speaker, Milka, if you can hear me.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear. Go
on. First, I'd like to thank all of you for listening till now. It's always a challenge in this virtual event. Listening for, okay, thank you, just thank you. And I'd like to thank all those who have presented before me. You've done great presentations, and yeah. So I'm going to talk about, let me share my screen first. Can you see my screen?
Yes, I can see.
Oh, okay. a minute. So my name is Milka Kirui. Okay, I'm not the Milka who just won airtime. Congratulations, my name's C. My name is Milka, and I'm a student of Multimedia University of Kenya and an alumni of Huawei Academy of Multimedia. My certifications are HCIA routing and switching and HCIA security. And you can contact me via milikri@gmail.com. So I'm going to talk about iLearning X, Huawei ICT Job Fair, and Ajira Digital. So most of my friends usually tell me that they can't study without music, like they have to listen to music and to study. Well, I, on the other hand, I can't study with music. I struggle to grasp a thing while studying with music. So while some of us learn effectively via classes, by attending classes, there's some who learn effectively or love learning through self-study. So, and that's where iLearning X comes in. When you want to study on your own and you don't want to attend classes, or you just want to get some extra information, you can study via iLearning X. iLearning X is a Huawei online platform that contains different courses and programs offered by Huawei. It also contains a variety of links to Huawei webinars. There are more than 200 courses on the platform, from the most popular such as HCIA routing and switching, and the newest such as HCIP cloud service solutions. The link to iLearning X is ilearningx.huawei.com. So why iLearning X? When you visit the iLearning X website, iLearning X website, you get the most trending and the latest Huawei ICT courses, up-to-date study materials, mock exams for each course, and you get to know what's up in the IT industry by attending webinars. So iLearning X provides you with a chance. You don't have to research about what's trending in IT, which are the most popular courses that you should have. You can just go to iLearning X and they've sorted it for you, like from different categories, which is the newest, which is most popular. And you know, the most popular courses are those courses that are trending and most people are doing it. That means that most organizations are looking for people that are qualified for such, that are qualified after doing such courses. So iLearning X, you can self-study and do exams and get your certification. So how do you do that? When you go to the iLearning X platform, you have to sign up first, and then you get the variety courses and programs such as ICT competition, you can enroll for them. You can enroll for HCIA routing and switching, and any other course that you'd like, because there are more than 200 on the platform. After enrolling, they provide you study materials where you can study on your own. They have videos, they have notes, so it's inclusive. It's comprehensive. And then after that, you can do a mock exam. This mock exam, you have to do it to your level best, because to apply for a voucher, you have to get 80% of that mock exam. So when you get 80% and above in the mock exam, I think they give you two chances to do the mock exam. And then after that, you can apply for a voucher to do for the exams for free. Then after doing the exam and passing, you get certified for that course, either whether it's security or routing and switching. It's just, it's this easy, but I'd like to tell you that my friends and I have been trying to learn HAP on our own, self-study, and it's not as easy. That's why I think Huawei ICT Academy, and I don't take for granted the Huawei ICT Academy and the teachers, the lecturers who teach these courses, because I think learning in class is much better. But if you want to self-study, or if you want to do courses that have not yet been offered at your school by the Huawei ICT Academy, you can use iLearning X. Huawei ICT Job Fair. This is an event that is organized by Huawei while partnering with other reputable organizations to provide employment opportunities to qualified students. The event was first held in Kenya on 30th April 2019, and the most recent job fair was held in 12th May. That is 2 weeks ago. And in the most recent job fair that was held on 12th, they provided 150 job openings to highly qualified ICT graduates to apply. And who is more advantaged than a person who has done HCIA certification, because these are jobs that are offered by Huawei and they partner with other companies. So they'd want people who have done this certification, because having done this certification, it means that you have the skills for the jobs that they're offering for the job openings. So the opportunities at Huawei ICT Job Fair, they include full-time employment. So when you attend and then internships, they include full employment, internships, and training programs. So like, I think every year this Huawei ICT Job Fairs is held. This Huawei ICT Job Fair is held, and they provide very many job openings. So always look out for such opportunities, where if you're a graduate, or if you just finished school, or if you're at school and you want an internship, this is the place, this is the events that can help you get what you want, whether it's internship or full employment, or training programs such as graduate training program by Huawei. the last event that was held, this is just a picture of the last event that was held in May 2021. You can see it was a virtual event due to COVID, and it means that that even though there was COVID-19 has made so many people to lose their jobs, and many people don't have their jobs right now. But Huawei has such an event and had 150 job openings for people. This means that Huawei is doing all they can to invest in the local talent, providing job opportunities and ensuring that people can succeed. Ajira Digital. This is a government initiative driven by the Ministry of ICT Innovations. I'm sure most of you have heard about Ajira Digital, and it's an initiative to empower young people to access digital opportunities, job opportunities. For example, they hold trainings for different jobs. And after that, they can help you get a job. The different online trainings at Ajira include, this is a picture of what is being offered at Ajira Digital at the moment, and you can see Huawei ICT Academy here. The courses, the HCIA routing and switching, all the courses that are offered by Huawei ICT Academy, you can still get them at Ajira Digital platform. And all these other trainings that can help you enhance your skills, because at the moment, having a degree or just finishing school cannot guarantee you a job. It might, but the most companies are looking for people who have more than just a degree. Like what you're bringing to the company has to be more, and you have to be skilled in what the company majors in. So you can still get certified via trainings. Oh my God. Can you still hear me?
Yes, we can.
Hello.
Yes, we can.
Okay. Okay. And then this is my last slide, and the title is #Ikokazi. So we usually talk about tamaking after you've finished school, how it's hard to get a job in Kenya or anywhere, like there are no job opportunities. But I think there are many job opportunities. It's just that we do not have enough skills for them. Like, this is a screenshot of the job openings at Ajira Digital today. I took this screenshot today, and you can see the job opportunities that are open at the moment. There are more than 30 job opportunities in the IT industry, but are we qualified, or do we have the skills for these jobs? That's why it's important and beneficial for you as a person to do this Huawei certifications or just get your skills. because jobs are there, but do you have what it takes to be employed by the company that you want? Lastly, I'd like to share how HCIA and Huawei ICT Academy has been beneficial to me, because I was among those who did HCIA, the first cohort, and after doing the HCIA routing and switching certification, I got a chance to intern at Huawei. So at first when I did that HCIA routing and switching, you know, I had my doubts, you know, like I was in second year, so I didn't know which path to take. But I took a chance because I knew there was nothing to lose after doing that. There's nothing to lose if you're gaining knowledge from something. So take these chances, take the opportunities that are available at the moment, because you've had, he said that the vouchers may not be available for the next years to come. So take the chance, do the certifications now when they're still cheap, and gain knowledge. That's all. Thank you for listening to me. I was anxious, but thank you. And if you have a question, you can ask.
Thank you so much, Millie, for that. So I'm sure you guys have heard that you're able to study on your own. You don't need to be in a class at your own pace. Alafu pia kuna kazi, iko kazi. So just visit that Ajira platform, and you'll be able to get jobs. Yeah. So any questions for Millie?
I can see some questions on the chat.
Yes. Ugutu. Millie Kirui, for the ICT job fair, is there a bias towards the course someone did? With 150 job opening, do they take IT, software engineering, PBT, maths, and comp science, physics, etc.?
I don't think they only take, they take a variety of professionals, because I've seen the advertisements when they hold this Huawei job fair, and they also take a variety such as software engineering, BBIT. They just, because they partner with other companies, so other companies may want this, but most of the jobs that are being advertised during this Huawei job fair events are IT related. Yes. Have I answered it well? Or
yeah, I think that is okay. Yes, so I think the answer is okay to Ogutu. The other question was,
how does one apply for internship?
For internship, yeah.
At Huawei, and what are the prerequisites? They usually advertise for internship, I think, at some point during the year, so on their social media platform. So if you haven't followed Huawei, you can follow them on Twitter and all that, and Facebook, and they have links where you can apply, and they post the qualifications that are required on those links. but yeah, they post the qualifications, and of course you have to upload your CV. And when you have
Kindly mute your mic. Caroline to bed. The host can help. Thank you.
Okay, they post the qualifications that are required for a particular job, for like the internship, if they need someone for engineering or if they need someone for IT, they'll post the qualifications required. But a person who's done HCIA, routing and switching, or just a Huawei certificate is more advantaged. They can get the job easily than someone who hasn't. Then is there also a bias towards Huawei? Towards Huawei certified students as opposed to other certifications, or those non-certified? Is there a bias when looking? Well, hello, Jimmy. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Can I request you to answer this question?
Yes.
Because is there also a bias towards Huawei certified students as opposed to other certifications or those non-certified?
I wouldn't say so, but having a Huawei certification actually comes as an advantage. So I wouldn't see why you wouldn't maybe go for that certification, because you get an upper edge if you have the certification compared to if you don't have it. So yeah, it's for your advantage. So you get an upper hand if you have that certification. So yeah.
Actually, if I can also answer it.
Yeah, sure.
They say there's no bias, but there is a bias. Like they will pick someone who has a Huawei certification over you who doesn't.
Exactly.
So we might sugarcoat it, but there is a bias.
Because I think you believe on on the people that you've trained more, other than, so they know the skills that people have gained from learning from HCIA, and they believe that's what can really help in their company. I think so. Can you do I think
You done, Milka?
the other questions, and I think
Kate was answering them.
can you do HCIA security alone, or it has a prerequisite cost? Yeah, yes, you can do HCIA security alone. Like, I think I'm done. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Millie, for that and for your questions. I think everybody is satisfied and they got an answer for the question they asked. So we're about to wind this up. Once again, thank you guys for staying along with us so far. We'll go for the last round of questions. So I hope you guys have been paying attention to what our speakers have been saying. So when Kate was speaking about the competition, can you say what was the theme of the who is able to say what the theme of the competition is? The Huawei competition. It's a 3-word theme. So anyone, the theme of the Huawei ICT competition, it's a 3-word theme. So you'll be able to say that. Kindly put in the chat section. No, Sharon. Anyone else? You can give it a try. I'm sure somebody was able to pick it up. It's a 3-letter word. Not a 3-letter word, a 3-letter theme. A 3-worded, oh God, a 3-worded theme. So, anyone? I can see nobody was able to pick that up. So the theme is connection, glory, and future. So yeah, that is the theme for the competition. So how many tracks are there in the competition? And you can name them. The tracks, there are 3. Okay, let me say there are 3 tracks. Sorry, there are 3 tracks. So who is able to name the 3 tracks? Okay. So the one will be able to name 3 tracks. Word home. So yeah, thank you. Network, cloud, and innovation. So if you are the first one to do that, we'll check it up in the chat section, and you'll get your reward. Sorry, is someone saying something?
I think it was Wanjira who answered the
Sorry?
Wanjira. Okay.
Wanjira.
Yeah.
Yeyo ya part 3 hiyo.
Masoso, you can come again.
Gani?
Masoso.
I don't think he's in the meeting. Someone should mute him.
Oh yeah. Kindly mute Masoso. Thank you. So I don't think I have any more questions. So thank you so much, guys, for your participation. If there aren't any question, I'd like to welcome Bruce to wrap this up. Once again, thank you so much, guys. Looking forward to you guys joining our academy. As you've heard, it was awarded as the best academy. So you are sure that you will get the best that there is when you join this. So welcome so much, guys. Looking forward to interacting with you more in the future. Thank you so much.
Before Bruce wraps up, could I ask, I think let me just read the names of the people who've really participated so that you could perhaps leave us your number so that we're able to send you the airtime. So Engineer Obadiah, Victor Omondi, Lynn Miano, Wanjira, Rose Mwangi, Maobe Maeba, Anne Wariara, Ben Kisebe, Ravi, Sharon Cherono, Milka, the Milka with a C. Then Anna Nicola. Is Anna here? Anna Nicola. Oh, okay. Anna Nicola. Caroline Chebet. Cynthia Mokeira. Edith Chepto. Sharon Cherono. Have I already read? Oh, yeah, I have. Victor, okay. Purity Kwamboka Momani. Is she still here, Purity? Okay, I guess she's not. Oro Oyo. Okay. Okay, please send us your numbers. Okay. Please send me your numbers direct chat me Mwambui Wainaina, if you can. Thank you. Bruce, you can wrap up.
Okay, good evening, guys. My name is Bruce Felix. Am I audible? Be sure.
Yes.
Okay, so it has been a very exciting and fascinating session, and I'd like to wrap it up. Thank you, everyone who participated. I'd like to thank the presenters from the president. We had Lumumba, we had Mr. Faris. Jimmy, thank you for the moderation and taking us through this session. Mili, Wamboi, Sylvia, all of you, thank you. You have been an exceptional audience, and I'd like to thank you, everyone, and have a blessed evening, a blessed week ahead, the remaining part of it, that is. And remember, Huawei is the way to go. MMU ICT Academy will take you there because it rides on technology. I think that's it. In the interest of time, we should end the session. Any volunteer could maybe end the session with a prayer. Volunteer. You might win your time. Think about it. Anyone?
Can I pray?
Yes, you can, please.
Hello?
Hello, you can.
Okay.
Please go ahead.
Let us believe and pray. Almighty Lord and Father, we thank you for the great training that you have accorded us today. We ask you to grant us the knowledge to continue learning more and bless our presenters. And as we depart from each other virtually, we ask you to bless us. I ask all this through Christ our name.
Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, Brian.
Amen.
When you can also consider my airtime, but you have not called my name.
Sure.
We will, Brian. Thank you for your prayers. We've been
Okay.
answered for the airtime.
Okay.
Send me your number, Brian.
Okay, I'm sending. Thank you.
Hello. Wambui, kindly share your Twitter handle or LinkedIn.
Sorry? Could you repeat that?
Kindly share your Twitter handle or LinkedIn.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think it's over. Thank you guys for attending. And we'll invite you more. We'll invite you for more sessions. We'll be holding boot camps. And these boot camps entails the practical sessions. Make a point of attending and learn with us as we prepare for the upcoming Huawei competition. Thank you, everyone. Have a blessed evening. Maybe, Mogo, you have something else to add?
No. Just bye, guys. Thank you so much.
Okay, bye.
I can see Oro has raised his hand. I don't know how long he's been raising it, but I can see it now. So,
Okay.
Oro, do you have anything to say?
Okay, just want to ask this. Hello,
Yes?
is this Wambui Wainaina?
No, I'm not Wambui. I am Sylvia.
Oh, Sylvia, I wanted
Yes.
to know whom are we supposed to share our contact with?
You can share it to Wambui or any one of us.
Okay,
But
I think.
Wambui has just shared her LinkedIn.
Okay,
Her LinkedIn profile.
Oh, Wambui Wainaina.
Yes, Wambui Wainaina.
Okay, so that's what I wanted to know.
Okay.
Hello.
Yes. Hi, Alvin.
What are the contracts being shared for?
Airtime.
Or the participants are supposed to be granted airtime?
Depending on the level of your participation.